NBC News special report. Here's Lester Holt.
Good day, everyone. We're coming on the air with breaking news. U.S. officials confirm that the U.S. has begun retaliatory strikes in the Middle East in response to the deadly attack that killed 3 American troops. The strikes come days after those service members were killed in a drone attack on a U.S. outpost in Jordan last weekend, marking the first American deaths since the Israel-Hamas war began. Dozens of other troops were also injured in the attack as well. Today's news also comes hours after President Biden performed one of the most solemn duties of the presidency today, attending the dignified transfer of the fallen troops at Dover Air Force Base, honoring them before they are laid to rest. Our chief international correspondent, Keir Simmons, is on the ground right now in Iraq. What do we know at this hour, Keir?
Well, Lester, U.S. officials telling NBC News that retaliatory strikes have begun against Iranian-backed militias in Iraq and Syria. This is from U.S. government sources. It's not an official announcement by the U.S. government, as I understand it, as I speak to you right now, Lester. We did have, though, news, I guess about 30 minutes ago, that there was something happening in eastern Syria, along the border, near the border with Iraq, a place called Mayadin, which is part of a strip that we know includes encampments for Iranian-backed militias, and also in that same area, a well-known Iranian base, frankly run by the Iranians. So whether that is connected to what we are hearing now from these U.S. government sources, hard to tell. We will have to wait for more news, because it is both Syria and Iraq that we're being told that these strikes have begun. But of course, Lester, this is what we have been expecting for days now, and we've got some kind of a picture of where the strikes may be. There are, frankly, multiple places that the Biden administration could choose to target tonight across Syria and Iraq, and then also very, very difficult judgments, Lester, for the Biden administration about how to do this in a way that sends a clear message to Tehran without overshooting, if you like, and causing a reaction from Tehran that escalates things towards a wider war. That is what the Biden administration has said again and again. It is very, very eager to try to avoid, but at the same time, it clearly wants to send a message to Iran tonight about the killing of these 3 American military.
First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Yakakadash, and double honors to those great millstones, while lunch is truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. Come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of today's lesson is War News. So I like to say, Shalom to all I listen and learn. Hope this help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 6. And it reads that, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we seeing what rumors of wars all over the place. So we seeing that the U.S., which in fact is America, has launched airstrikes in response to the deadly drone attacks on these U.S. bases. You know, they are sending out these airstrikes in Syria and also in I think in Iraq. So these things are constantly picking up. So we knowing that also, you know, we seeing that North Korea is constantly conducting cruise missile testing, you know, in the last 10 days. So things are increasing. People are constantly doing their missile tests. Also, Ukraine not Ukraine, the UK, which in fact is Great Britain, they're doing nuclear missile tests also. So, you know, we seeing things are picking up. Rumors of wars are all over the place. Also, NATO members are preparing for war with Russia. So, you know, tensions are very high. So we're seeing these things that constantly happen. And also reports Minnesota National Guard are deploying 550 soldiers to the Middle East, the so-called Middle East, which in fact we know it as Western Asia, going into that area, just like the Bible says. So we seeing they keep sending people, constantly sending soldiers. They're getting prepared for what? War. We knowing that what World War III has begun. Things are constantly picking up left and right. So we knowing that basically, they are constantly declaring war basically on Iran. It's not been official yet, so it's not been confirmed, but we knowing that, it's already been prophesied that, Iran in America is going to head up. We knowing what's going to happen to America. The Lord said he shall move them far from their border, so, that's the Northern Army, which in fact is America, going with all their armed forces, which in fact the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, and so on. So, so we already know America will be defeated over that. Also, we knowing that we have to keep our eyes on the least of the flock, which in fact is Israel. So we seeing all these things are constantly picking up left and right. So let's read this again. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6 said, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So that's what we're seeing right now. But the end is not yet, because what we at the beginning of sorrows, the birth pain we seeing happening left and right. Also, China and Taiwan, those things are constantly picking up. North Korea and South Korea. So the war drums are beating. We seeing that these heathens are raging. And one thing about it, we knowing that the Lord is doing a mighty work. We seeing that the Lord is gathering the nation. We seeing that the Lord is moving the chess pieces around. And one thing about it, we knowing that the Lord is getting ready to return with great glory and great power. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is War News. So I have one more quick video. And after that video, we will start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified. One moment. Let me find it right quick. I think this is it here.
Okay, this is starting to get a little weird. They've been sending National Guard out to the Middle East like crazy. This is the 6th time that I heard of them deploying troops to the Middle East. And I keep putting it in my Discord like, hey guys, this ain't normal. Why do they keep sending our National Guard to the Middle East? Why didn't they send our soldiers or even reserves or something? Why do they keep sending our National Guard? Is it so Texas get less help from what's going on down there? Or is this a whole nother agenda? Are we really getting ready for a huge war in the Middle East, which we already know a big attack is coming up that the United States has been drawing up for days? And Lloyd Austin said this could be the breaking factor of what's going on in the Middle East, meaning that this can escalate if we attack and Iran decides to attack back. We have North Korea for the 4th time doing cruise missile tests to test their nuclear capabilities off their west coast. Pyongyang keeps focus on low-flying tactical nuclear missiles intended to defeat South Korean defense systems. Remember, this is one of the conflicts that's supposed to escalate this year, so let's see what happens here. After Putin signed that decree or whatever, there's been big debates about him getting Alaska back and all that and all the other territories, and now the Russian state TV is trying to make it worse by saying, hey, we should go after California too. Remember I said Fort Ross, California used to be part of Russia, just like Alaska used to be part of Russia before it was sold to the United States? Right, let's see them try. But anyways, Americans likely part of the crew that shot down the Ukrainian POWs. Yeah, they're saying American specialists, American soldiers, American mercenaries, whatever you want to call them, was part of the Ukraine group that shot down that plane with the prisoners of war on Russia's side of the border. And now, Putin already said they got to retaliate for this. The one rule Putin always have in this war with Ukraine is if NATO don't want to be involved, don't shoot your missiles across their border. And first it was Storm Shadow, then it was cluster bombs, and now we got U.S. missiles starting to go across the Russian border, if you know what I mean. Around the time that NATO's running their largest exercises right by Russia's border, which they say they're about to meet that threat, right after they already said we're launching a full-scale war on them, and that the United States, South Korea, and Japan is getting ready for war with North Korea. We have it being reported that the UK could possibly be doing a nuclear missile test. And this is more like a launch, not like a underground blow-up type of test. This is like a test launch. This would be the first time since 2016, and this missile can go up to 18,000 miles per hour. Beat that, Russia. Just playing. Another NATO member is warning about a potential war with Russia. What NATO member is this? Romania. On top of the other 10 NATO members that came out and said, hey, Russia's about to attack. So, they're putting it out there. Well, get ready. I got to put it the right way. Get ready. Russia could attack at any point in time, and we got to be ready. And remember, the more that NATO gets ready on Russia's border, the more that Russia's going to think that they're being aggressive towards them and start to counteract that and move their own troops and equipment on that side of the border. And then these guys are going to be in a major standoff, just like it was in the Cold War, except these times are much worse, and people don't understand that. We have more countries with nuclear weapons, and we have tensions higher than they've ever been before. Tensions are so high, the only thing they can compare it to is the Cold War or World War II. I never hear, this is on the scale of the Korean War. This is on the scale of the Middle East War. This is on the scale. No, they always say World War II or the Cold War or the Cuban Missile Crisis. Those are the only three things they compare it to. South Korea is saying that they need to get ready for North Korea's drone threats and saying that they don't have the defense systems to detect some of North Korea's drones. Either y'all got a poopy program or North Korea's been making major developments, or you just never took the threat seriously. And you're telling me y'all are our major partners and y'all can't get no good weapons from the United States? I know we got shit to shoot down drones. We got microwave weapons. We got direct energy weapons. Like, come on, man. We have Russia mad at Ecuador for transferring old Russian weapons to the United States. And then we also got Greece that's hopping on. All these weapons are going to go to Ukraine, of course. So Russia's really angry with Ecuador right now. Here's the one about Greece. The United States is also talking to Greece about it too. Then the Iranian-backed Houthis are doing major attacks in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. And in fact, they like I said yesterday, they claimed to hit a U.S. ship. So, or two ships. And the U.S. retaliated yesterday by hitting them back, and I guess they're going to hit them back again today. And we're drawing up plans to hit Iran this weekend. So let's see what happens, guys. Anyways, much love. Wish me luck today. More news next. Until we meet again, my friends.
We see that rumors of wars are all over the place, just like the Bible said. So we'll start today's lesson, and let's start off in Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. Revelation chapter 11 and verse 14. We'll start today's lesson here. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. So it reads, it says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe come quickly. And you already know that the second woe was talking about World War II, and the third woe is World War III, the last and final war right before the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So we already know we're at the beginning stages of this last and final war, World War III. So we seen that it's coming very quickly. So one thing about it is that the Lord already said these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. The beginning of sorrows, great mourning, great death, great persecution, great tribulation. It is near. It is at the door. So all hell can break loose at any given time. The third will come quickly. It's right before our eyes. So now let's go here to Joel. And also we know that this is retaliation against these Houthi rebels. And also we know that Israel is attacking Hezbollah. So we already know that things are getting broader. The war is expanding, it's getting bigger and bigger. All the major players is coming on the scene. So we're seeing it happening right before our eyes. The Lord is putting all the pieces together. We're seeing that the Lord is doing a mighty work. So now let's go here to Joel chapter 2. Quick lesson straight to the point. Lesson Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. Joel chapter 2 and verse 20. And it reads, it said, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, which in fact is America, Babylon, the great army. It said, and I will drive him into a land barren and desolate, Saudi Arabia, with his face towards the East Sea. The East Sea is the Persian Gulf, and his hinder part towards the uttermost sea, which in fact is the Red Sea. And said, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he has done great things. So this is saying right here that America is getting ready to get their asses knocked off, getting ready to be totally destroyed over there. So let's read this again. Joel chapter 2 and verse 20 said, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, which in fact is America. It's in the Navy, the Marines, the Army, the Air Force, and so on, And it said, and I would drive him into a land barren and desolate, Saudi Arabia, or what they call the so-called Middle East or Western Asia. He said, with his face toward the East Sea, which in fact is the Persian Gulf, and his hinder part towards the uttermost sea, which in fact is the Red Sea. So we seen them in that Red Sea area. That's the Straits of Hormuz. So that's a major choke point. A lot of goods and supplies, merchandise that run up and down through, and also a major oil. They bring a lot of oil that goes through that, so that is a very important choke point. So the Bible spot on. It said, the uttermost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he has done great things. So because they have spoiled many nations, they're getting ready to be spoiled. Hey man, so we seeing that these things are coming. The Lord's getting ready to destroy America, Babylon the Great. We seeing that starting with the army. We seeing that America will be invaded. So, it's just like a hair trigger now. Anything can go off at any given time. The war drums are beating. We seeing this right here is spot on. The Bible is accuracy, 100% accuracy. Let's go here to 2 Amos chapter 15. 2 Amos chapter 15. Let's go here. 2 Amos chapter 15, and we'll start up at around verse 28. And it reads, it says, behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east. Verse 29 said, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. So we know that the dragons of Arabia going into Saudi Arabia and their allies, like the Kuwait, Lebanon, parts of Iraq, the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, and many others is going to join into this war. So the war is going to expand. We seeing that the kings of the East, Russia and China, all of them going to be in collaboration. So a lot of things are getting ready to happen. Iran, these things are getting ready to happen. So we read a little bit further down. It said, verse 30 said, and also the Carmadian, which in fact is Iran, raging with wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the woods, and with great power shall they come with and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrian. The Assyrian going into America. So we seeing that these things are lining up just like clockwork. So Iran, which in fact the Carmanians are the modern day Iran. So they saying that if they hit anything in Iran, that they gonna have hell to pay. So we seeing these rumors, we seeing that things are constantly escalating. We seeing the retaliation. We seeing these left and right. These nations are bucking up left and right. The Lord is causing this increase, causing all these evils are growing all around us. And a lot of people right here in America still are not considered, still are relaxing in their lease. And hey, man, things are picking up, man. The Lord is doing a mighty work. At the end, it shall speak and not lie. Verse 31 says, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So, they're going to remember their nature, that, which in fact is Ishmael, he's that Arab man, he's very wild, so that true nature is getting ready to come out, you know what I'm saying? So we seeing these things are constantly picking up, man. We are here. Verse 32 said, then these shall be trouble, bled, and keep silent through their power, and shall flee. Verse 33 say, and from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dreads and strife among their kings. Verse 34 said, behold, the clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. Verse 35 said, and they shall smite one another, one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own stars, and and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly. Verse 36, and the dung of men unto the camel's hoof. So that telling you right there, it's going to be a lot of great death, or a lot of killing, a lot of destruction. So, we're seeing that this Assyrian army, which in fact is America, it's going in, it's parabolic. It is going into America. We know Assyria is, I think it's a city in northern Iraq, if I'm not mistaken. But it is talking about modern day America. So we seeing that this is spot on. So we knowing that the kings of the East, also we knowing that Russia, China, also these Saudi Arabia, dragons of Arabia, which in fact, all of them going to be allies, all of them going to be in collaboration, to bring down the whore. They shall burn the whore. So we seeing that these things are lining up. So, hey, we are very close. The Bible is spot on. So now let's go here to Second Esdras. Let's get a little bit out of Second Esdras. Let's go here to Second Esdras chapter. Let's go to verse 33. Second Esdras chapter 16, Salakia. Jumping the gun, Salakia. Second Esdras chapter 16 and start up at verse 33. And it reads that the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. The women shall mourn, having no husband. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Verse 34, it said, in the wars shall their bridegroom be destroyed, and their husband shall perish of famine. So it's in the war. So it's talking about what World War III, seeing is already lining up over there in the so-called Middle East, which in fact is Western Asia. We seeing those things are constantly picking up. We seeing that these nations are getting ready to come in collaboration against America. America will be totally destroyed. And also Israel, keep your eyes on Israel. The least of the flock shall draw them out, and they will be desolate together. So, hey, man, we know that we are very close to what our salvation is very near. Hey, trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Verse 35 said, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Verse 36, behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Verse 37 said, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Verse 38 said, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compares her womb, which pains when the child come forth, they slack not a moment. So that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing every day. We can't hardly keep up with, rumors over here, mischief over there, calamities, all sorts of catastrophes all around the world. And they're going to constantly increase, right before what? The great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. That's why the Lord said, lift up thy head, look up. Your redemption drawing nearer and nearer. We seeing that the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. Verse 39 said, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So, hey, we're seeing it coming upon us on every side. These evils are growing. These plagues are not slacking down. These scourges are sent for a minute, but a lot of people are not aware, still thinking that they are a good case, but they're in for a rude awakening. 2 parts therein is getting ready to be cut off and die. So the body count is getting ready to be great. Verse 40 said, O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils, be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And that battle is talking about what? Jacob's trouble, a time of trouble that we have never seen before, the hour of temptation. All these things are fast and approach. So one thing about it is that we will be like pilgrims upon the earth. We'll be spiritually inclined. The Lord will be directing our step. When you go to Daniel chapter 12 and verse 1, the archangel Michael is getting ready to stand up for the children of Israel. So that supernatural intervention is getting ready to come into play. The Lord has got to give certain men on this planet that power. So the Lord's getting ready to activate his sleeper cell, his super soldiers. So one thing about it, when the enemy come in like a flood, that military flood, the Lord is going to lift up his standard, which in fact is the 144,000, the prophet, the true believers of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So the Lord is getting ready to set the record straight. The Lord is getting ready to set everything back into order. So hey man, so rejoice ye heaven. So now let's go here to our last and final script. Let's go here to Jeremiah. We'll close out here. Jeremiah chapter 51. Jeremiah chapter 51. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 45. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 45. And it reads, said, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. Verse 46, and lest your heart faint, and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, rulers against rulers. The beginning of sorrow. We seeing that flee out of the midst of her. We're talking about what? Babylon the Great, America. Flee out of the what? That mindset. Also, you know what I'm saying? We want to flee when the Lord come. You know what I'm saying? Come up hither. You know what I'm saying? In those chariots. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, the only way out of this is if you're not going up, you're getting ready to be burnt up. So we're here. So, you know, America, Babylon the Great will be the lake of fire. There will be no inhabitant left here. We'll constantly warn you left and right. Come back under that total subjection to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. He's only dealing with the 1/3. If the Lord is not dealing with you, you will be totally destroyed. So now let's start back up. Let's read it from the top again. Then we'll close out. Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 45 said, my people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. So judgment is coming. It's going, you know, Lord, it's going to constantly increase. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. Recompense and judgment is right upon us. And first, his judgment will start at the house of Israel. You wicked Negroes, you wicked Latino, and you wicked what? Native Indians. The Lord's getting ready to get his house in order very soon. So we already know the Lord is getting ready to purge out the rebels, the unbelievers, the one that don't have the faith. I don't believe this. I don't believe that. But hey, it's happening right before your eye. Whether you will hear or whether you will forbear, we really don't care. Verse 46 saying, unless your heart faint and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land, a rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall come a rumor, and violence in the land, rulers against rulers. Amen. We are here. We seeing it spot on. And also we know that civil war is constantly brewing right here in America. You know, civil unrest. We seeing what protests, uprising, you know, uncertainty, you know, so it's going to be a time of desperation, a time of sorrow, a time of trouble that we have never seen before. Jacob trouble, it is at the door. And also the great and glorious return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, it is at the door. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is War News. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua by Hashem, Rikakadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.